Ah, it's fighting down. I think it is a catfish. Holy smokes, it's a big trout. Welcome back to the channel. Like always, I'm Adam and this is First Man Fishing. And today I'm back at one of my favorite little no-name neighborhood ponds. I'm trying a couple things different. I'm fishing sunrise right now, which I've never actually been here in the morning or this early. I always just kind of come if I have a couple hours after work. And I'm also going to try bait. I've heard there's some big catfish in here, so while I cast for walleye and stuff, I'm going to throw out a whole dead suckerfish and see if we can maybe pick up a catfish. I've heard of some kids catching some big ones on chicken hearts or whatever, chicken livers, whatever you use, chicken. So I'm just going to use a, I don't know what size this is, but a pretty decent sized circle hook. I'm just going to go up under the chin, through the top of the head there, just out. I'm just going to throw a whole suckerfish. They're pretty nasty, especially when they're like this. It's not rotten, but it's definitely gotten soft from being in the freezer. So I'm just gonna cast, fudge. It's a problem I have with suckerfish sometimes. If you're casting them as bait and they're these little ones, they seem to be pretty soft. Like I can just tear this thing in half. So I'm just gonna use a half a sucker. And I'm gonna go through the eye this time, see if that holds up a little better. Just a nasty chunk of sucker. So I'm gonna try to cast it away from this little reef right here, because I know that's where all the walleye are kind of hanging out right now. And as much as I like catching walleye, I don't want to catch one on the bait. I'd rather catch those on the jerk baits. So I'm gonna throw it off kind of more to the side over here. Let's try that again. Let's see if I can not launch this suckerfish off the hook. There we go. And I honestly don't think I need to go out very far. This dam's kind of the deepest point, so I imagine what they're going to be doing is just cruising up and down the rocks. So I'm going to set the rod down. I'm going to kind of make a little perch for it. Some other rocks, and what I'm going to do, what I always do with bait, is I'm going to take a smaller rock. I'm going to open the bail and then just set the rock on the line. I don't think catfish are like this, but I know with lake trout, they're kind of sensitive, and if they feel any resistance on the line when they're trying to pick up the bait, they'll drop it a lot of the time. So what I'll do is I'll put a rock on the line. That way when they hit it, the line comes off and you can just free spool, and they don't feel that resistance. So you can give them just a second to kind of take it. So I'm gonna just soak that dead suckerfish for a little bit. I'm gonna start. All right, I'm just gonna take a couple casts with this jerk bait, and I'll probably switch to a jig. It's quiet. It's nice. There's no one out. There we go. What the heck is that? Oh, it's a walleye. Not bad little guy. The other reason I really like fishing jigs is I just hate dealing with treble hooks. Man, he chowed that thing though. I was getting ready to switch to a jig, but I think I'm gonna hang on to this. Oh, that's a spawning male. A little bit of fish jizz on the boot. It's not the first time. Okay, little male spawning walleye. Oh, he's ready to go. Nice. Oh, all of my boot. There's something bumping it, looks like. I can't tell. Sometimes the wind looks just like a fish. Obviously, if you fish a lot, you know that. Oh, see, that could have been the wind, that could have been a fish. It definitely popped it off the rock. I'm gonna assume it was the wind. Just a little bit of a breeze, so I'm gonna go with a slightly heavier rock. There we go. Okay. I haven't really fished for catfish a lot. I've never specifically targeted them that often, but I did accidentally catch one when I was probably like 21. I was fishing an ultralight for bass, and I had foul hooked, or I had snagged a little shad. It was probably like 4 or 5 inches long in a little pond down south. So I tossed it on there live, and I was casting it kind of along the edge of the shore, trying to catch bass, and probably a 36-inch catfish, big channel cat, grabbed it, and I had a 4-pound test on an ultralight that was like half spooled. I ended up running down the shore. I jumped in the lake and swam across the lake, chasing the fish because it was going to spool me. And I did end up getting a picture of it. Some dude that was walking on a trail saw me swimming, came down to check out what I was doing, and took a picture for me. So I got a photo of that fish. Alright, I was getting ready to change my lure, but something just hit the bait rod. It doesn't look like the line's going out anymore, but the rock just popped off. So let's see what we got going on here. Yep, something's hitting it. There we go. It feels heavy. Could be a big walleye, it could be a big catfish. Let's see what we got on a circle hook, so hopefully he's hooked right in the corner of the mouth. That looks like a cat. Is that a big walleye? Is that a big bass? Oh, no way. Make sure the camera's going here, but that is that just a huge smallmouth, or is that a largemouth? That's a largemouth. That's something I've never seen in here. Fudge, you got out. Alright, well that kind of sucked. He got away before I was able to get a video of him. But that's the first largemouth I've seen in here, and the first largemouth I've heard of in here. Just hook up another piece of sucker like that. Oop. Just gonna cast it right out. Alright, well, let's take a measure on him. I'm not sure I had the camera going when I caught him, but this is one of the bigger walleye I've got out of here. He's right at 20 inches on the chartreuse paddle tail. I'm not sure if I had it filming, but when I pulled him up, he had another walleye with him that was just as big. It's a 20-inch walleye. That's not bad for a little pond. This one's a bad. Let's go ahead and send him back. It's always funny to me how thick their heads are when they clamp down. Yep. Yeah, that's a nice pond walleye. You ready, dude? Yeah, you ready? Man, this water's cold too. Okay, let's see if we can catch another one of those. Oop. Something's hitting the bait rod. Oh, right as I was going to switch my lures. Just gonna pull that off of there. Okay, let's see what that is. Hooked him up. Doesn't feel as big as that bass. Maybe. It actually feels okay. Watch it just be that bass again. Ah, it's fighting down. I think it is a catfish. Holy smokes, it's a big trout. God dang. Okay, well, 2 species in one day in this lake that I have never caught before. Got a largemouth bass, and now I've got a big freaking rainbow trout. I put bait out expecting catfish, so this is kind of crazy. Looks like he's hooked in the corner. I mean, it's not the biggest trout I've caught, but man, for this little pond, that's a nice male rainbow in a place where I didn't know there were trout. Let me get them. Well, we learned something. There are bass and trout in this lake, and I did not know that. I've been fishing this lake probably 5 years now, and I haven't seen either of those species in here. I would have rather caught that rainbow on a lure. Alright, switched it up. I got a Trout HD by Dynamic Lure in the bubblegum pink. Oh, that's a fish. Oh, it's a nice fish. God dang it. There we go. Oh, it feels like a nice fish. That's not too bad. Hooked it right on the lip. Yeah, I've never been a fan of treble hooks. Another nice little male walleye. 16-ish inches. Let's get you back out to your spawning bed, dude. Whoa! He was ready to go. There we go. Oh shit, he got off. This is the heavier of the two setups I typically fish with, or at least carry around. It's a 6.6 medium power, fast action St. Croix Avid with a Quantum Smoke 30 series reel on it. And then I've got 10-pound fluorocarbon on this rod. And then this rod is the one I personally like casting the most. It's a St. Croix Icon. It's a medium light power, extra fast action, and it just casts little jigs pretty nice. It's a pretty sensitive tip. And then I've got it's a Shimano Stratic 2500 series. And I've got a 6-pound fluorocarbon on this one. It's just a lot lighter. It's a lot easier to handle. You don't get as fatigued. You can throw a lot of smaller lures really easily with it. And that 6-pound fluorocarbon cast pretty nice. Oh, what did I hook? A lot of freaking fishing line. Someone lost a little paddle tail. I think it's a Gets It jig. I can't remember the brand of these. Sucks for them. They lost it at the rod, it looks like, and not at the lure. So they lost like 100 feet of their line too. Toss that in the backpack. Toss that in the tackle box. Oh, that's a fish. I thought I had the bottom. I thought I was bumping rocks. It's a nice little walleye. Not too shabby. God dang it. Another nice little walleye on the bubblegum pink Trout HD. Not a bad little male. Probably somewhere in that 16-inch range maybe. I'm not going to measure this guy. Another decent little spawning male walleye. Alright. Cool. Couple fish. It's not too bad. Alright, last cast. Let's see if we can get a fish. Last cast is always lucky, especially since there's like 10 of them. Nope. Well, that's it for the day. As much as I hate to leave, I've got to go get my kids.